Unmuted. Hello.
Hi.
Happy Kate Week. How are you doing?
I'm I'm hanging in. How are you?
I'm good. I'm putting my phone on Do Not Disturb so I can be present. Um, yeah, so this is your first solo novel. You had Love Creekwood, which is like, you know, novella. Um, but this is your first solo novel since Leon the Offbeat in 2018. Um, how does it feel to be launching this book right now?
Well, I would rather be launching it with you or Aisha. I'm like very glad we're doing this
Yeah.
tonight. Uh, yeah, I mean, it's it's very complicated. I mean, I'm excited about it because I just like I love these characters and I'm excited for people to read this book, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely like hitting me hard. Just what a different experience it is, like having a book come out where it is like just you, like
Yeah.
um
You
because
have to do all the media requests. You have to answer all the interviews. You have to be the one that's consistent throughout all the events. You have to answer all the questions.
oh, I
It's a
don't
lot.
have any of that. It's like yeah, no, it's very much more the um yeah, just the emotional aspect of it. It's just like waiting for trade reviews to come in, for example, is so stressful. But
Yeah.
the way that it's just such a different experience, like when you're co-writing, because if a trade review came in that like we like felt like had a snarky line or something, or if it was one of the
Right.
where's the star, like we were being like told
Yeah.
about it and stuff. Like
Yeah.
um
No, yeah, you get to like commiserate over that. And like that, I mean, obviously, and also it's just like it's a lot more fun. and
yeah.
and yeah, no, I mean, so before we proceed further, guys, so just how we're gonna sort of like run down this event today is that Becky and I are gonna speak a little bit about her new release, Kate in Waiting, which I'm currently reading and loving, which by the way, this book is very gorgeous and it'll look beautiful on all your shelves as well. So go grab your copy. Becky's gonna tell us a little bit what Kate in Waiting is about. We're gonna talk about the book. We're going to speak a little bit about Here's to Us, which is our upcoming sequel to What If It's Us. There will be a little excerpt from Here's to Us from Arthur's first chapter. And yeah, then we're gonna take your questions. So feel free to already start firing questions our way, and Infinity Reaper might get mentioned at some point. Oh yes, and we're gonna be giving away a copy of Infinity Reaper.
Oh,
Uh,
I wasn't trying to hint to announce that. I figure like
oh
people would find that out when we gave it away. I
yeah,
just want to just highly recommend this beautiful book. It is perfect inside and out. I know some of y'all actually. I want to know, like, let us know in the chat how many of you who are here with us tonight also came to the Becky Adam event for Reaper.
oh
Um,
yes,
oh yeah, so we've got some. Okay,
good.
so we know this is going to be unbelievably fun. I'm so
Yeah,
excited.
that seriously,
The
we
trolls all came back.
yeah, that was an incredibly fun event.
uh,
So yeah. All right. Well, also, and to enter for the copy of Infinity Reaper that Becky is very generously donating, along with like some other like fun swag stuff, including this like Arthur and Ben print because our boys are so beautiful. Just ask a question, and Barnes and Noble will be randomly selecting a person who's like asked a question. So we're happy to answer. Also, guys, like throw fun questions our way too. Like we're, yeah,
oh my
go
gosh,
for
I've
it. So
seen
anyway,
Mario's name get mentioned so many times.
oh my God.
I thought y'all were going to come after me.
Oh no, but I think after we share this excerpt, they will.
That's
I
yeah.
think the tides are going to turn on you. So for now, we'll just let it be
Yeah.
about Kate. So Becky, do you want to tell us a little bit about what Kate in Waiting is about?
Yeah. Okay. Kate in Waiting, which is dedicated to Adam Silvera. Is
Bam.
there it is. But yeah, so it is about a pair of best friend theater kids who are little. Oh my gosh, Willow. Oh, Willow, what an end.
Hi, Willow.
Yeah, my cat is obsessed with Adam. Like, she's definitely always up for a live event, but she would not miss one with Adam.
Right.
It's like,
Hi, Willow. See
hi,
that happy tail.
Willow. Wow, I didn't even make it through the elevator pitch before Willow like clumsily hopped up here and almost fell. Yeah, so it's like these best friends who are a little bit enmeshed, I would say. Like they rely very heavily on each other's opinions and judgment. They one of the things that they do almost as like a bonding ritual is they have crushes on the same guys. So Kate's a girl, Anderson's a boy, and they almost like, I don't say it's a game, but it's just like very casual and fun and low stakes for them, because neither of them ever has any shot of like making anything happen with any of these guys because they're completely incompetent, and they will kind of crush on this guy from afar, and the whole point of it is just so they can like just discuss every interaction and like pick it apart and replay it and like just squeal over that together. And so Kate in Waiting is about what happens when one of these like summer crushes who is supposed to kind of stay safely contained at summer camp in a different state moves to their town, which is based on my town, Roswell, Georgia, which is like a suburb of Atlanta. Like it is just basic ass suburb. And he shows up and suddenly he goes to their school and he is just a part of the theater scene there. And there's an explanation for this. It's not like totally dumb, but, like,
right. Yeah.
And yeah, and so then they both actually get to know him, and he is it turns out he is a really good person to like, and they both start to really like him and develop real feelings for him, and that is a new dynamic for Kate and Anderson, these two best friends. So
yeah, like I'm really so I'm still reading the book right now. No spoilers. I saw a couple people in the comments already finished reading, so careful with the Kate spoilers, please. Or I will kill Ben and Here's to Us. So
and I love that you imply that you haven't already killed him.
Right, true. No, I did tell people on Twitter the other day, they were like, please no deaths and Here's to Us. I'm like, everyone's alive, but we are in revisions right now, so do not spoil this book for me. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm loving so much about like watching.
Oh my god, kill Mario instead. I knew I
no
kill her so quick.
No, in fact, I'll make Mario kill Ben. So, no, I'm really loving watching just sort of the dynamic sort of like play out between Kate and Anderson, and because like you absolutely, I mean, like from the first page, like you absolutely like get like a deep sense of their friendship and their connection and how close they are, to the point where when like you can kind of start anticipating where things are going to start kind of like cracking a bit, and it is like, and like my chest is like tight even like just like kind of like hinting at that right now, but I mean there's such a beautiful scene already that I'm, because we're getting to, I mean the book's only told from Kate's perspective, but like Anderson is sort of like reporting on some of his stuff as well, and not everything, but like Kate has this like really sweet moment with Matt about divorced parents and everything, which I know is like personal for you, and yeah, and I just like I love seeing how the individual like connections that they're each getting, so that Kate and Anderson are each getting to like form with like Matt, this person who was like never supposed to like come back around, and it is proving like really worthy of their attention.
Thank you so much. Yeah, when you are writing about really awesome friends, it helps to have really awesome friends.
Yes.
So we should like, maybe, I feel like for the record, we should be clear that like I'm like old and married and stuff, and this is like not a part of our friendship history. Like,
Right.
I wouldn't stand a chance against Adam ever.
That's
The number of times after an event, somebody who's come to, like, if somebody's come up in the signing line and been like, is Adam single?
I was about to say, I was like, you're saying that you would have chance against me, and I'm like, one of us is married with kids and the other one's single. So I'm like, so I think you are not giving yourself proper credit. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I love like even just like seeing how, because I mean their friendship is like, they're so close, and I mean the way that like Kate especially speaks to how she doesn't like the way that like friendships get minimized like in the grand scheme of things of relationships, right? As if like a relationship with a romantic partner is like always supposed to be ultimately like more superior than a friendship or whatever. And I was like, I don't believe in that. Like one of my other best friends of 12 years or whatever, like we talk about like how we are so close, like, and his wife knows that like we're like this close and everything, right? And she's just like, yeah, I mean they're just that close. You know, and like, and that is just like, that's just a true reflection of like our friendship, and that didn't change because like he got married, you know. So
it has
yeah,
such
like
like Ben, Dylan, and Samantha energy too. Like,
it
yeah.
is, oh god, and I'm so excited. But I'm thinking about, because I'm like about to be like fully vaccinated and start traveling again soon. I'm gonna get to like see my friends. But yeah, anyway, I'm just like, I'm completely loving this so far. So like, I mean, from your experience of like having done the co-write for What If It's Us with me, and then for Yes No Maybe So with Aisha Saeed, like as you were like launching back into sort of like solo contemporary mode or whatever, like do you feel like there were different things that you like in your process that like changed, or like apart from the fact that you were writing everything again, like was there something from like those collaborative experiences that you were able to like bring back into focus for solo?
That's such a good question. I Yes, but it works better for the collabs, I think, and that would be
Yeah.
my screenplay. My I feel like I walk around talking
Yeah.
about this, like this little part of my process, as if it's some real craft thing. Like,
Right.
God help, like I'm so sorry to any MFA people who may be here. I am not. I don't have an MFA. I'm sure that's really obvious.
Yeah.
Like, I do
I
have an
disagree with that.
ADHD. I have one of those.
But actually, I
Um,
do want you to speak to what that process is, if you don't mind, just
yeah,
because, like, again, like, process is, and craft is like, what gets the book done. Like,
right.
if you write a book every Tuesday, if that's the only time you can write or whatever, and you get it done, like, cool, that's your process. Like, and it resulted in a finished book, right? So like, it is a successful process for you, and you obviously have written like a handful of books now. So I think that is a very valuable perspective. So do you want to tell them what the screenplay process is?
Yeah, first of all, I write a book actually every Tuesday. It's great.
Thursdays and Fridays are when it gets tricky for
Yeah,
you
not
at
Thursday.
home.
Adam is like fully aware what the schedule is of like when I'm on duty with the kids and stuff.
Right.
Just like, like every time, like, and every week it surprises me, like Monday and Tuesday and like half of Wednesday. I'm like, okay, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling like I'm being productive. And then like Thursday and Friday, I'm like, I'm so behind. I have written nothing. I'm just like, this is like, but anyway, the screenplay is
Yeah.
yeah. So the way that the way that worked with the collabs, which I think is like when I really started using it, is like first we would kind of, in real time, like on the phone or FaceTime, or with What If It's Us, in person, actually with Yes and Maybe So in person too. Like that was,
Yeah.
we used to be able to like be in the same room. That was amazing. I remember that.
Yeah.
But so we would like develop a kind of chapter by chapter outline. So not like an, you know, a Roman numerals and ABC kind of outline, but just
Yeah.
like chapter one, this stuff happens. Chapter two, this stuff happens. And so we get all of that mapped out together. And that is true for What If It's Us, for Yes and Maybe So, and also for Here's to Us. And then for me, what tended to work the best when I was actually like sitting there writing my individual chapters is I would take like, okay, chapter two, time for my screenplay, which was just basically just since I'm so like dialogue motivated, I guess like that's like
Yeah.
that is like what gets me excited. That's just like the momentum for me. Like that is like kind of what will put me in the zone. So I will like sit there and just like write it out like a script and with little action beats and stuff, and that will a lot of times kind of help the scene take shape for me.
Yeah.
And then I have to like really really sit with it and try to like put myself in the space and get like physical descriptions in there, so it's not just people talking in an empty room, which is I would say my
Yeah.
natural inclination. um so that worked really well for me, and works really well for me for the clubs. And I think part of that is because the chapter by chapter stuff is like much more solid
Yeah.
because we're like building off each other. Also, like I like will openly say that like both Adam and Aisha are so much better at that than I am, and I just kind of you know, along for the ride and trying to learn a lot of stuff about plotting. But
I disagree, because I remember there have been so many times over the years where like I'm like watching you plot and I've been like, Becky could open up like a book packager, because she has like a lot of like really fun ideas. She knows how to like outline stuff. Like, I mean, you're also like in a very efficient and like effective outliner as well, whereas like I obsess over things for like so long, you know. Whereas like I watch you like break down beats, I'm just like, yeah, no, that I sign off on this. This looks great. And that's like not how I feel about my own work. And I mean, like, and you know me, I'm very proud of like Infinity Reaper, where I'm like, there were many times I was like sending Becky a voice message. I was like, I am the voice of my generation. Like I've just achieved something so genius with this book or whatever. And but that took a while, and sometimes that was me stumbling onto stuff, you know.
that's it's just like so funny. This is just like I mean the only thing that I can say to that is like if you could like take all of that in with just how differently Adam and I like see that dynamic, you were almost ready for Here's to Us, because like it
Yeah.
really is like that is just like so this is such a like lovely and flattering way that you see my abilities, and it's like
Yeah.
oh my I'm like thank you. I just maybe I should just not say anything else because I like that you see me that way.
Right. No, but I mean, it's even like when you
Like,
send me chapters and I'm just like, oh my God, this is like ready for publication. Like, yes, I'm gonna give it a light copy edit for shit that I'm not gonna catch, but yeah, and then you're like, and you know, you edit as you're writing, like your chapters too, whatever. But I'm like, I think I'm more like a slow writer who is just like not editing as I'm writing as much these days, whereas I'm just like choosing words a lot more carefully, especially like in this like Here's to Us revision. But yeah, I mean, it's for me, it's really interesting how like you can have collaborators who have like completely different approaches to writing and still come together to like produce a work that like hopefully feels seamless to people. And which I mean, it must on some level, right? Because some people literally have no idea that we've written individual characters, like individual narrators, right? They're like, we weren't just like passing the laptop around like back and forth. Like we live in completely different places. We now live in completely different time zones. And in the case for Here's to Us. So yeah, I mean, there's times that like, I mean, we are just a lot of like WhatsApp is like the bridge for us because it allows us to like send voice notes over and just like text messages. Hi Willow, it's Tail. And Yeah, that was really great for us. So there's so many questions, which is
Oh my
amazing.
gosh.
So I think we should do the Here's to Us sneak peek and
Yeah,
then jump into questions so we can like really, because there's like 40 so far, 40 questions.
43. It goes up. It keeps going up. 44. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Do you want to explain what the excerpt is?
Yeah. Okay. So the excerpt is it's an Arthur chapter. The reason it is an Arthur chapter is because there is going to be an Arthur sample in the paperback of Love Creek. Oh my gosh, hopefully I'm allowed to announce that in the paperback of Love Creekwood.
Surprise.
So because of that, Arthur's first chapter was kind of accelerated through like edits and stuff. So this is the chapter we were most confident would not get changed because we are still very much in edits.
Yeah.
So
AKA Ben can die if you guys aren't careful.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, so this basically and I'm delighted to report that Adam has agreed to read it because I hate absolutely hate reading my own writing. It's like it's embarrassing. It's like I'm like I can't pronounce anything that I like write. But okay. So this is Arthur's opener and oh my god, this is like the first time we've
Yeah.
talked about this. I'm also nervous because I'm like this is like
Yeah, everyone who's mad at Mario,
I know.
let's go. Come on, Becky,
I'm
what's
just
up?
gonna let me just take 1 minute to like soak in the era of everybody trolling us about Mario and not turning it on me in a second.
You've had almost 2 months of
Yeah,
this.
I did. I did. It was a few months. I've been like taking advantage of it. But I even put I don't know if anybody went to my Animal Crossing island. I put a like a Wario like costume in like one of the What If It's Us areas just for the trolls. Like that's just for y'all. Um yeah, my favorite trolls. So anyway, yeah, so anyway, Arthur is a boyfriend, but that's what
Wait,
I'm
what was that?
so just
Louder
get
and slower?
place. Yeah, no, I think everybody heard everything they need to hear.
Did you say that Arthur has a boyfriend?
Yes. So,
Unlike Ben, who doesn't have a boyfriend, Ben's just casually talking to someone named Mario, but Arthur has what?
um,
A boyfriend. Okay, cool.
Arthur has a boyfriend because he finally got tired of Ben stringing him along and giving him mixed signals for freaking years. So,
I just saw a comment, Mario's still worse.
yes. Thank you, Olivia. Yeah, so no, yeah, basically, yeah, like so yeah, Mario's like super hot and cool. Mikey Mikey is Arthur's boyfriend. He is a sweet little nerd. He is if you read the epilogue of What If It's Us, um and some of y'all like may not remember because you were too quick to like slam the book down and then send me an angry email that doesn't include Adam at all. Like,
Right.
but, uh, yeah, so Mikey's the acapella guy who Arthur dated briefly. Like he was like basically hooking up with him during for a little
Just
bit.
put Mario with Mikey, all problem solved.
That's like, I, I know. Well, I know. I actually that was like I had suggested that, and Adam was like, no, like Adam had to save me from that instinct. I was like, but they kind of have the same
Nope.
name as Arthur's parents. That's like such symbolism. It's like a total coincidence. But like,
Yeah. But yeah, so what's happening in this scene right before this moment we're about to read? Like
yes. Yeah, so Arthur has just finished his freshman year of college. So after he and Mikey broke up, as you saw in the epilogue, they got back together a couple of weeks later. And Arthur was actually going to be spending the summer in Boston with Mikey, which is like where Mikey's from. And then there was like kind of a last minute pivot when Arthur, like, to his own surprise and certainly to Mikey's surprise, landed his dream internship in New York. So this is their last night at Wesleyan before Don't Make Me Hate Boston.
I live here.
I love you guys so much. But yeah, so Arthur's going to New York. Mikey's still a little bit feels a certain way about it, and they are kind of talking it through while they're like packing and having their last night in Connecticut. So
Cool. All right. At Benjamin, like your photo. I can't stop staring at the notification. Of course, it doesn't say which photo he liked. Could have been my packing day post, sure, but it could have also been the Stacey Abrams quote graphic I reposted last night, or Sunday's throwback photo for Mother's Day, or anything really. I want to click into the app so badly my fingers are twitching, but I can't do that in front of Mikey. That little heart icon. I wish I knew what it meant. Probably nothing. Maybe his fingers slip while scrolling. Maybe he doesn't even know he liked it. I wonder if he'll like it as soon as he realizes. I don't know if that would make the notification go away, or if I'll get a new notification, or I realized with a start that Mikey just spoke, and I didn't hear a word of it. Wait, sorry? I swallow guiltily. What did you say? Mikey looks at me. Said if you want to see him, you should see him. Mikey, I haven't even talked to him since February. I know. He's blinking a lot. You said that a few times. I blush. Well, it's true. February 12th, to be exact. And I hate it. I hate how far I have to scroll to find Ben's text. I hate not knowing if he finished his last The Wicked Wizard War revision, or whether his parents followed through and made him get a job like they threatened. I hate not knowing what he had for breakfast this morning. I hate that it's my fault. I'm the one who made it weird. I guess it started when Mikey and I got back together on New Year's, but I can't blame Mikey. It's not like he asked me not to be friends with Ben. He just always got kind of prickly and distant when Ben's name came up. So I stopped bringing his name up. And I guess that made Ben feel like a thing I was hiding. Mikey, Ben liking one Instagram post doesn't mean we're suddenly best friends again. I say, aiming for the space between casual and jovial, but even I can hear the defensive edge in my voice. I glance sideways, and Mikey's doing this tick he has sometimes, where he pinches the bridge of his nose behind his glasses. He used to do it a lot first semester. I don't think it even hit me until now that he'd stop. He shuts his eyes for a moment. Can I be really honest with you? Of course. I scoot an inch closer. The music stopped, and the silence feels boundless and thick. When Mikey speaks at last, his voice is flat. I know you haven't talked to him, and even if you did, I trust you, Arthur. You'd never cheat. I know that. I'm just scared. I press my thigh against his. Of what? I don't know. I guess I feel a little threatened by him. He was your first love, your big Broadway love story. 2 years ago, and I haven't seen him since then. You know that. He nods quickly. It's just what happens when you do see him again. But why would I? I don't think he even thinks we're friends at this point. Mikey looks at me strangely. Do you think you're friends? My cheeks go warm. I mean, we were. I don't know. He's my ex. We dated for a few weeks 1,000,000 years ago. But I'm with you now. And Mikey, I really, really like you. I really like us. And I do. I really like him. I like Mikey's face and his voice and his weird, nerdy brain. And there are times when I find him so endearing, I almost can't stand it. And we're so good together. We barely fight. Yeah, he's been a little moody about New York, but I know we'll work through that. We always work through stuff because we're mature grown-ups in a mature grown-up relationship, and everything's good and chill and solid. And I'm happy. I like us too, Mikey says. I take his hand and squeeze it. Here's the thing. Ben was my big Broadway love story, but I was 16. That's just what falling in love at 16 feels like. Just because it's different now doesn't make it less real. Arthur.
Wait, can I do a performance of the comments? Because this is like my feeling. You
Oh,
read it,
sure.
I was like reading this. Yeah, like, I mean, we have to like, another shout out to Don't Make Me Hate Boston. I live here. Okay, I'm not gonna like, I'm just going to read you a couple to like give the group a sense of like just the reaction to Mikey in general. He should feel threatened. Be scared, Mikey. Be afraid. Be very afraid, Mikey. Mikey, you should be running, baby. Oh, Mikey, sweetheart. I will be physically ill. This hurts my heart. Liar. You're so funny. I just, oh my gosh.
Oh my God. This is
Oh my gosh. Mike, you should run. Sorry, y'all are amazing.
I love that so much. No, I can't read the audiobook because we have real actors we try to hire for these things. But yeah, so that is your that's your sneak peek into Here's to Us. And one day Becky and I will hop online and we'll do like a maybe we can do like an Instagram thing or something where we can do Ben stuff so we can like even the playing field a little bit and have you guys let you guys meet Mario. But yeah. Okay, let's take some questions while we still have some time. First question from Raina, which is the most hot voted one. Do you miss doing live book tours rather on Zoom? And what city or town would you want to visit once you were able to do live book tours again?
I first of all, I absolutely do. However, there are definitely advantages to Zoom. Like one thing I do love about the Zoom events, I mean, other than like the fact that I'm like 100% like I'm not wearing shoes, like my cat has joined us.
Same.
Yeah, like it's just but like like logistically the Zoom stuff is great. There's definitely something different about like the energy with the live book tours and just like actually getting to talk to people face to face. Like that just sounds like it sounds fictional, right? Like that.
Yeah, I mean we get to like read the comments in a Zoom where if you guys were like doing all this Mario hate in the middle of an event, that would be disruptive.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's tricky. Okay, sorry, there's a lot of questions. I'm gonna start kind of blasting through them. If Kate in Waiting, hi Anna. If Kate in Waiting becomes a Broadway musical, who would you want to write the music? I feel like yeah, I feel like we can't actually like.
That's a great question. I'm gonna pass on answering it for now, but that's a great question.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it'd be fun. Yeah. What was one of your favorite Easter eggs you hid in Kate in Waiting from Alicia?
Oh my gosh. There's like Kate in
There's
Waiting.
the bathroom one. The because of our peeing all the time on tour.
Oh yeah, you're always peeing. But like, yeah, well the bathroom time forgot, like the kind of just the origin story for the bathroom being this like sacred place for Kate and Anderson definitely comes from the What If It's Us book tour when like just like the way like sometimes I don't know like sister wives or whatever like the way like menstrual cycles like can sometimes
Yeah.
like synchronize like our bladders did that for us.
Yep.
So
like I mean to the point where we'd be like we need a bathroom break. And it's like or like I'm gonna go pee. You're peeing too? It's like cool, okay, great. And
it's not even the same bathroom. Like we were not even like it was
right.
like it was not like it wasn't quite as glorious as like Kate and Anderson are really lucky, like
Yeah.
But,
Love
no,
it.
it's just like really peeing.
Yes. I just saw the question I wanted to ask. From Kendall, how do you choose your titles? So I guess in case for like Kate in Waiting, how did you land on this title?
Oh my gosh, I feel like with this one, it was just trial and error for this. Like a lot of times for me, it's trial and error. I'm definitely one of those authors who like will throughout multiple drafts, I'm just calling it like the Kate book.
Yeah.
It's usually that's what I call all my books. It's like the main character. It's like the something book. And then at some point I'm like, I should put a title on this one, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I guess I feel like I just like did like a proper brainstorm and like wrote down a bunch of ideas, and Kate in Waiting ended up sort of being the one that clicked, but it's just like a play on like Lady in Waiting, and it's like, you know, because that's like she plays a lady in waiting in the play, and then also like she's kind of um I love the idea of in waiting. It has this kind of
Yeah.
um you know, the tangle, like when will my life begin kind of thing, like
Yeah.
so.
No, I love it. I have a question from Maria. Um, do you get possessive of your characters and What If It's Us? How do you write conversations within a chapter between Ben and Arthur if each one of you are in charge of one of them? How do you keep the voice the same for each character over chapters? Do you want to go
Oh my
first?
gosh, that's such a great question. I interpreted it like totally differently. Like I was like, hell yeah, I get possessive. Like, yeah, you know who the biggest Mario troll of all is? I'm like, yeah. Oh yeah. The number of times I've been like, I I have like had reactions to certain like Mario things as if I was Arthur, and I'm like so jealous and mad. Like,
Yeah.
but um
I know Becky has
but
literally been like, no one's even gonna like Arthur if you don't pull back on all this like
I
Mario stuff.
know. And I felt a lot better about it after the Infinity Reaper event though, but
Yes.
like,
As you should.
yeah, I'm like, okay, like, all right, like people have my back. But
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, it's like, so in that way, I do feel I guess it's more like protective. Or
Right.
like just like I am Arthur's advocate in a way.
Yeah, because I wouldn't say that I feel possessive of Ben either. Like, I get excited watching you write Ben. I get excited reading Dylan from your perspective. And Dylan is a character that I first created in the world, right? And but like I'm just as entertained in watching Becky write Dylan as I am me getting to like write Dylan, you know? And the same thing with like Arthur and Ben. It's like, you know, Becky was the first one who had to write the in What If It's Us, like who had to write the first like chapter that included both the boys, right? Which is the very first chapter of like What If It's Us. Like I didn't have to write Arthur for a while. Like it kind of maybe wasn't even until like the first date when I like actually had to like write Arthur like in person, not like over text or something, you know? And yeah, but it just I don't know, that really helped me sort of like zoom in on like Ben's voice too. And you know, we both also have like fan fiction backgrounds, which is
Yeah,
like
that's what I was gonna say. I'm like that part's like very natural, I think, for both of us. And that I think is the
yeah.
reason. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it just fan fiction really teaches you how to sort of like echo voices like really early on. So there's so many great questions. I'm just like trying to do a variety here. Oh, okay. What is a little difference when co-writing in a pandemic that you wouldn't have expected?
Oh my God.
We can talk about some big ass differences.
I know. Are any of the differences little?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, in terms of us, like, you know, the social distancing aspect, I guess, of it wasn't a change for us because we've never lived in the same place. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I would say the biggest difference probably, especially on my end, is just like my entire schedule and my you know, my kids are, well, now I have one kid who's home all the time. Like um I have half a work week, and it's, you know, and then I'm like working literally all the time every time I'm like not with the kids, you know. So it's just been y- like Adam like knows my kid schedule like so well,
Yeah.
like such detail.
Yeah. I mean, well, people are like trying to schedule calls. I'm like, oh, Thursday's going to be tricky for Becky. Can we try to do something like later in the week? You know, it's like, yeah. No, and like, and for me, it was I'm like a major extrovert, super social, and to not have that was like really difficult for me, and didn't keep me in a like mentally well place. And yeah, and it's just like, well, I don't really have like this motivation. Also, I was in the middle of rewriting Infinity Reaper. So our schedules weren't synced up in the way that like we hoped they had been. Like I needed more time with Reaper because that book was coming out 1st. That book came out March 2nd. Here's to Us is coming out in December. And yeah, so it just like, there was like, there was we weren't even on the same track with like the priority book, right? Because like Becky was able to focus more on Here's to Us at a time that like I physically, mentally, creatively couldn't. And it made it, whereas like for What If It's Us, we had both turned in our 3rd books around the same time, so we were both able to fully throw ourselves into like What If It's Us and everything. And so yeah, I mean, it was not as fun as like What If It's Us and everything. And it was like really difficult because like our home lives like did change really. Like, I mean, Becky became a teacher all of a sudden, right? And I had to adopt a dog because like it wasn't safe and smart for me to be living by myself anymore. Like it just so yeah, it really hard. Do not recommend it.
Yeah, although like, and we'll talk about this in more detail, I'm sure, like on our Here's to Us tour, kind of whatever that looks like. But yeah, it was absolutely brutal, like I think for both of us. And I think like in the end, I think in certain ways like the book is stronger for
Yes.
it, because like
Yes.
what it basically did was it since I couldn't like wait for Adam to like finish Reaper, because like I knew that I was going to be working with half a work schedule, so I had to like do the like slow and steady, and get as far ahead as I could, because Adam, once he finished Reaper, is going to be able to like write much faster than me. But so what that meant was like I was immersed in Arthur. I had nothing of like Ben's point of view, no like I mean, I knew, I knew the outline and stuff, but I
Yeah.
didn't like I wasn't getting to like peek into Ben's head at all and see you know, it was just like it was a very pure, like everything filtered through Arthur's point of view and what Arthur's seeing about the situation. And kind of like I think I sort of alluded to earlier, it's just like Arthur and Ben are the most like unreliable narrators when it comes to each other,
Yeah.
and so that I think was a really interesting dynamic that like plays out in the book. And it's something that it's something I love about the book. Still don't recommend that process.
Right. No, I definitely do think it was an advantage, but yeah, it was not fun. Here's a kind of a fun random one from Megan, I believe it was. What do we think the friendship dynamic between Willow and Tezito would be?
Oh my god. So they haven't met because it's like they for a while they were like taking turns coming to events,
Yeah,
phone calls and things like that. Like
yeah, and Taz is in daycare right now. So and also like I've never seen Taz meet a cat. So like I honestly do not know if he's gonna go like the cartoon cliche route and like try to hunt Willow, or if they're gonna become like best friends. Like I have literally no idea how Taz like reacts to cats. I know that he barks at a lot of dogs, so um, we'll see.
I think Willow's gonna be very jealous.
Yeah.
She's like,
Yeah, I mean, and Taz like if he likes someone, like he will get attached like pretty fast. So like if you left the room, like he would start kind of like whining and be like, "Well, where'd she go?" And I'm like, "Bro, I'm still here." Like shit, like like you should only act that way if it's just me. But no, I actually love that he loves other people. It makes me feel a lot less guilty when he is not here. Uh, okay, questions. Oh my God, there's 70.
oh my gosh.
Uh,
Those are
yeah,
amazing.
it's just like, um, sorry guys, I'm just trying to like change them up a little bit. Okay, yeah, this from Raina. I heard on TikTok that Kate is based on a real person. What made you decide to base Kate on someone you knew?
This First of all, this is a great first of all, hi. I have Arena in Kate and Waiting. I love that there's a real Arena here. This is amazing.
Yeah,
Like Reina now is also based on a real
yeah,
person. No, it's yeah, so the Kate that you saw on TikTok is indeed legit. And she is somebody who I adore. And so there's like a real life Kate, who is best friends with the real life Anderson. There is a real life Matt that neither of them have a crush on, as far as I know. I mean, I can't look into their brains, but I'm assuming, based on what I have observed and heard, that they have a strictly platonic, wonderful friendship. And Kate and Waiting, Kate is fictional, like absolutely
Yeah.
fictional, also pulling like a lot from kind of my own memories, especially like theater kid stuff. Um, but well, certainly like I borrowed the names, with permission. um, and there's definitely like, the real like Kate and Anderson have that same kind of like friendship vibe, I feel like, that we do, Adam. And then also like Kate and Anderson were such absolutely just like the things that they like, the details that they gave me about like just the real like the real high school here is called Roswell High School. In the book, it's called Roswell Hill High School. It's sort of, I mashed up like two local schools together.
Yeah.
A lot of that's just because like I cannot deal with, like, if I named it after a real high school, I'd start to get like really obsessive about like the layout and like, do I need to be writing real teachers, like the real Roswell High School teachers, into this book? And like,
Right.
but yeah, but like it's definitely based on Roswell High School, and they just the like level of like just such a deep understanding about just some of these social dynamics, but also like such a sense of humor about it. And like, you have like
Yeah.
the F boys and everything like that, like everything I know about F boys, like the real Kate and Anderson clued me in and taught me, and I do feel like an expert now in F boy studies. So
We're gonna take one more question before turning back over to Barnes and Noble. But it's a really fun one from Madison. Favorite Animal Crossing villager you have on your island and dream villager you want?
oh my gosh, what a great wait. Uh, um this is amazing. Like, wait, is this like
I,
is this Madison, like my Madding it, like
Madison Thornley.
yeah, that's my
Okay.
oh my gosh, I love this. Like, the question to end the night, like, hey. So okay, I mean, I hate playing favorites, like, oh my, I'm like, don't tell
Yes.
the other, like, no, like I mean, I'm like super into Maple. I moved Maple next door to me. Like, it's like my house, like my son, and like Maple. But also Fauna. I love Fauna. But also I just got a new villager. Just just used it like an amiibo card and got Tia, because I wanted a teacup elephant like in the Bells by Danielle Clayton. So Tia is like the dream for any fans of the Bells, just so you
Yeah.
know.
Becky,
And
by the way, I know I don't play Animal Crossing, but Becky tells you about these things. And just like I'm like so amused by it.
these are all of this. Like, all of these names.
Yeah.
You could have answered that question, I'm sure.
Right.
Like, and you've never played. Like,
No, but I love it so much. So anyway, go on.
what was and remind me, what was the other part? I just
And
like,
your dream villager that you want to bring onto the island.
oh, my dream villager. Okay, so like, I
I know there
mean,
was the one that you just got rid of that or you traded off for someone.
oh, that's like so negative though. That's
I
like,
know. That's I'm just if I were answering this question, I'd be like, well, I just got rid of this. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, no, I'm like, oh, I don't want to like drag her. I
Yeah,
don't
no,
know. Like,
that might be
reminds me of,
someone's
like,
favorite.
it's like, you don't announce that you parted ways with your agent. You announce that you got a new agent.
Right.
So we're not gonna talk about Cherry, but like, like, no, actually, I really like Cherry. I actually think she's adorable. She's the only reason I got rid of her is I really wanted Tia, and she was the newest, so I wasn't as like close with her yet. But she's really cool. She's like goth. Um, yeah, I guess if I mean, I feel so content like with who I have. Maybe
Yeah, I feel like you
Lolly.
just
I
got
like
your dream
Lolly a
villager.
lot too.
Yeah.
But it's
Well,
cool. My mom has Lolly, so
that's thank you all so much for attending this event and for all your wonderful trolling. Please support Barnes & Noble, who was so gracious enough to host us, and get a copy of Kate in Waiting. And there are also some signed copies available on the Barnes & Noble website, so take advantage of that, and pass that good word along to your friends as well. And yeah, we're looking forward to teasing more about Here's to Us in the coming months, and we'll see if Ben makes it out or not. Becky, any parting words?
yeah. Wait, that's like a beautiful double entendre. So we're gonna see if Ben makes it out alive, but we're also gonna see if Ben makes out.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. So
That's there you go.
hopefully both, but
And we will just to maybe ease some of you, unlike What If It's Us, where I wrote the last chapter, Becky wrote the first chapter of What If It's Us, and I wrote the last chapter. I'm writing the first chapter of Here's to Us, and Becky is writing the last chapter. So make what ye will of that. It's a happy funeral. So all right. Well, Becky, love you. Congratulations on Kate in Waiting, and looking forward to finishing it myself. And yeah, and I will see you in our world shortly. So, all right.
Thank you guys all so much. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Barnes and Noble.
Yes.
Yeah, down with Mario. Love you.
All right. Love you. Bye.
Mm.